Hi everybody, welcome to Insight from the Torah portion. Today we're going to talk about Parashat Amalek, Parashat Zachor, because we will read about Zachor, and I'm going to talk about memory, because Zachor in Hebrew means memory, to remember. And we talk about habituation and exposures of CBT, connect everything together with practical tools of CBT, and going to be amazing. So stay with me. So this week we read about Amalek, and we need to remember how we fought them and win the war against them. And we need to remembering is very important thing in our brain. It's the way we choose to do something or not. We base it on the memory we have from stuff we did before. And it's basically all our perspective is built on our memories. And that's how we act in the world and decide stuff. And it's very important. And so a lot of memories are, some of the memories can be of bad stuff and can make us hesitate, like should we do it or not, because we have bad memories. And this exactly is Amalek. Amalek is having doubts, because after Am Yisrael went out of Egypt, everybody was afraid for them. Nobody was willing to have any war against them. But Amalek came and he started fighting them. And then Am Yisrael started to doubt, oh, is Hashem with us or not? And that's the inyan of Amalek, to have doubts. So we will learn today how to deal with the doubts with a CBT technique. And it calls exposure, and I will explain exactly how you do it and what, but I want to start with the Torah idea. So in the psukim of Parashat Zachor, it says, when Moshe raised up his hands, Am Yisrael, they win the war. And when he puts down his hands, Amalek wins. And then it continues and says that the hands of Moshe are heavy. And then Aaron and Hur, his brother, and another guy named Hur, they needed to support his hands, one from each hand. And continues and said that his hands were emunah. It was belief, hands of belief, till the sun came. And I will read what I just translated. I will read it in Hebrew. It says, Vaya kasher yeri Moshe yado v'gavar Yisrael. When Moshe pick up his hands, Israel will. V'kasher yaniach yado v'gavar Amalek. When he put his hands down, Amalek wins. V'yadei Moshe kvedim, his hands were heavy. V'Aaron v'Hur tamchu beyadav. Aaron and Hur, they needed to support his hands. Mizeh echad v'mizeh echad. Each from each end, each person. V'yadav emunah, his hands were hands of belief in God, ad bo hashemesh, till the sun came. And I want to learn 3 points from the psukim. First of all, Moshe Rabbeinu, he picked up his hands, and Am Yisrael win the war. Usually when you pick up your hands, it's a sign of surrender. But here, Moshe Rabbeinu picked up his hands and they win. And the second thing, it wasn't easy for him to pick up his hands. He needed support from Aaron and Hur. And the third thing is his hands will believe. Even though it was hard, it was heavy for him, it wasn't easy, he still continued to believe and pray till the sun came, till he saw the light, till he got a clear sign from Hashem that Hashem is with them and the war is over. And I'm talking about it, also thinking about the war in Ukraine. And Hashem with us, even in the war, even in every situation. We need to remember that. And we need to remember that picking up your hands, it's not surrendering. It's davening to God. And the idea is not why you picking up your hands, why you give up. It's to who you give up. If you give up your hard stuff, you give it up to God. Instead of leaving the hard situation with you, you give it up, you raise it, you uplift the situation and say, okay, I know it's not everything in my hands. I did whatever I could. Now I pick it up and give it up to Hashem. It's beautiful. It also works in English. I wasn't expecting it to work, but also in Hebrew, you say, le'arim yadayim, you pick up your hands, and you basically pick it up from your hands and put it in Hashem's hands. So that's the first thing I want to learn from this psukim. We need to learn to give it up to God. Instead of saying, okay, I can't do it anymore. It's okay, you can say, I can't do it anymore. Now it's up to Hashem. Like, make it a way of talking emunah. Your hand shall be hands of emunah. All the situation, you should uplift it and have emunah in God, that Hashem can help you. In the situation, it's not easy for you. And I decide what to do with my hard situation. Do I decide to be sad with it? Do I decide to daven with it? Do I decide to go to treatment? You see, even Moshe Rabbeinu, while he was davening to God, he still needed help, support, physical support from his brother and another guy named Hu. Said they supported his hands. So you shouldn't be shy or embarrassed to go and ask for support from people. Ask help from your neighbors. Go to take a treatment. It's okay. Even Moshe Rabbeinu did it. And the third thing is to continue till the sun comes. To be in belief, even though it's out, it's dark, don't stop. Believe in God till you see the sun, ad bo shemesh, till the sun rays. Moshe Rabbeinu continued davening and praying. It was heavy for him, it wasn't easy, he needed support, but still believe. So this is some stuff I learned from those psukim. And now I have another 3 points that I thought, if we're talking about remembering, that I want us to remember. So first of all, we should remember who is the leader of this world. We need to understand that everything happens for our benefits, but sometimes, or a lot of the times, we just don't see it. So our interpretation for the situation, it makes the way we feel about it. But if we understand that everything is for good benefit, it will be easier for us to be in simcha. And the idea is to raise our hands, give it up to God, and say, okay, God, it's up to you. I'm davening, I'm doing my best I could, but please help me from here. Help me to see the good in this hard situation. And it's about us how to interpret the situation and to decide how to act according to it. And to daven, it's up to us. Okay, the second idea is from the Rabbi Milubavitch, and people ask them, what do we learn from having costumes on Purim? So the Rabbi answered that in Purim you see somebody just like a monster, and another one like some animal, and a different guy is like a clown. But you understand that it's just like something outside. It's not the inside, internal of the person. So you will never like be mad at him because he's behaving like an animal or doing something weird, because you say, okay, that's part of the costume. But also in life, we meet different people. Some people look like they're saying like not nice words, or acting, they don't want to give you any money, or they're just they're like mean or not nice, or they just don't care. So we need to realize that this is just their their outside costume. It's not the real inside of them. The real inside is the neshama, and it's pure from God, and it's always good. And we don't need to be mad at them. We just need to see the neshama and understand that inside they're holy. And the Rabbi, he finished and he says, this is the real meaning of Ahavat Israel. You need to love anyone of Israel just because he has Hashem neshama inside it. And I'm learning from this story two things. One, we need to remember that the actions, it's only something outside and it's not the inner person. And we need to look into the good inner thing of the other one. And the other thing I want you to remember is that the other person is just Hashem basically talks to us through people, through situations, through stuff that happens. So instead of being mad at that person, and it can be your child or your parents or your friend, instead of being mad on them, try to say what Hashem tried to say, to tell me through that person, what Hashem wants to tell, what I need to learn from it, how I can grow from it. Instead of being annoyed with that person, try to see what Hashem trying to tell me, what I need to learn. Okay. And the third thing I wanted is to teach you 3 ideas I got from the Psukim of the Hallel. We just was Rosh Chodesh a few days ago. And there's 3 Psukim, one after the other, towards the end of the Hallel that I kind of connected to, and I wanted to share with you some ideas. So I will say, first I will say the psukim in Hebrew, then I will translate them to English, then I will explain them like in my way. So the first pasuk is Odecha ki anitani vati'i li lishua. I want to thank God for giving me hard time, like inuit, like going through like a pain and uncomfortably, like people in jail, they go through inuit, they go through like hard periods. And I want to thank Hashem for the hard situation, because I realized that my Yeshua, the good stuff, comes out from hard situation. Somebody gets fired from his job, so he can think, oh, that's the worst thing that happened to me. But actually, because he got fired, now he needs to start moving and looking for a different job, and he might find a better job. Something maybe will make more money, maybe it will be better hours, maybe it will be more close to his house. Good stuff, I grow from bad stuff, because if we're in the same situation all the time, nothing better happens. So it basically we just get kind of stuck in that situation. But when something bad happens, it makes us think, it makes us move, it creates movement and change, and then good stuff can grow out of it. So, but we need to realize it. We need to be thankful about it and understand that the bad stuff, that's the start of a good thing. So we want to remember to be thankful about the bad stuff. The second thing is, the second pasuk is Me'et Hashem Aita zo, I niflat benen. This thing is from God, and we want it to be beautiful in our eyes. We say, okay, everything that happens, we want to remember that it's from God. It's something that Hashem created. Nothing is everything happens for a reason. And we want to see the beautifulness, not just to say, okay, that's from God. To say, okay, it's from God and it's good and it's beautiful and it's going to help me, even though in the maybe short term it looks bad, it will be beautiful in the long term. And to know it from the beginning just gives me simcha, because I know everything will be good. The third pasuk is Ze hayom asa Hashem. This is the day God created. Nagila v'nismecha bo. We shall be happy in it. And the idea is to look on each individual day and to be happy about that day, not to worry about what happened before and to be afraid from the future. I want to be happy about this specific day without worrying. I just want to be in Simcha, especially in Chodesh Adar, that it's time to be in more Simcha, just to be focused on this specific day and about the good stuff, not worried about stuff that will happen in the future or stuff that happened before, just to focus on this day. And now I want to go and teach you CBT tools of exposure. But before that, sorry, I invite you to register to my, subscribe to my channel. There's a subscribe button underneath. You just push it, and then in the description box below, there's a place, there's a link, and you can, so in the link below, there's a WhatsApp link or links to my Gmail, and you can send me there a message and said I subscribed, and I will send you a package of like sentence of joy, really beautiful 20 sentence of joy that I made it. It's for free. I will send it to everybody that registered to my channel. And another thing is that now my clinic is open to get in more people. So if you hear about anybody that needs help, I do it from Zoom from all over the world. So please, you can contact me through this, through the WhatsApp link or through my CBT Shira Gmail account. So let's talk about exposures. So we talked about that Amalek is about making us having not sure about stuff, and sometimes those stuff, it can make us very nervous, and some people even just going into a bus or in an elevator makes them really nervous, and usually people they just don't do stuff that make them nervous. So if they're afraid from going into the bus, they would just walk or take a taxi, even though it's like very expensive or takes them really long to walk, or they will go up 5 stairs, 5 floors in the stairs instead using the elevator, or doing stuff that are really not easy and not comfortable just because they're afraid to deal with the stuff they're afraid from. And in CBT, there's different tools to deal with being afraid, and one of them is exposures. And exposures mean to actually confront the stuff you're afraid from, instead of saying no, it's okay, you just take the stairs. No, you actually want to confront and go into the elevator, but first you learn about what is an anxiety, how it works, how to deal with it. Like if an anxiety comes, give you tools how to deal with it, to understand if it's really dangerous, and learn all about its benefits and cost of the anxiety. And after we learn all about the anxiety, we will start to do the exposure, and we do it in a really moderate way. We basically make a ladder, and we say all the stuff that we're afraid from. We write it down, and we write how much from 0 to 100. What is the level of anxiety that it makes us? So if going into glass elevator, it makes me afraid 40, and maybe going into really tall building elevator makes me afraid, I don't know, 70, and going with a friend is only 30. And you do a list of all the situation, going up 1 stair, going up 10 stairs with the elevators, going to a building of 100 levels and going up to the top floor. And basically I have a list of stuff with different levels of making you afraid. And then we will start actually exposing ourselves to the stuff that we're afraid from, but we won't start from something that is really low, like 10 or 20, because that won't be such a big deal. And also we won't start with something that makes us afraid, like in a level of 80 or 70, because that will be too much and we won't be actually able to do it. So we need to start with something about around 30 or 50, the level of an anxiety. And so for instance, we can take go into an open elevator with like a glass door, so you can see what's going outside. So that's maybe only 40. So I will start with just going into the elevator and then getting out. And then going in there and waiting for 1 minute and getting out. And then do it again and again every day, 3 or 4 times for a week. And after doing it for a week, even in the beginning, the an anxiety level was 40. So after a week, it probably will go down to 20 or even maybe less. So then I'm ready to go another step up and say, okay, now we will go 1 step up with the elevator. So again, it will make me an anxiety in a level of 40. But after doing that for a week, it will go down, Bezrat Hashem, to a level of 22 or even less. And then I'm able to do something that I'm more afraid of, like maybe going 5 stairs up, like 5 floors up with the elevator, or going to an elevator that doesn't have a glass door, or doing it by myself, or doing it with a friend. Slowly, we raise up the stuff that we're afraid from, till basically we get to our goal. And the goal is supposed to be something that is reasonable, something that we actually need in our life. We won't give ourselves a goal, for sure not something that is dangerous, but also not something that is not connected to our life. Like if we never go in buildings that have 100 stories, so we don't need to get to the 100 story with the elevator. So that doesn't need to be one of our goals. We give practical goals that actually will help us in life. And obviously it's the best to do it with a therapist, but you can actually try to do it by yourself. And basically the idea is you do it more and more and more, and then you see that it's not so bad as you were afraid. And you also see that the anxiety, it goes up, but then also it goes down. There's all like explanation about how anxiety works. And after you get all the tools how to deal with anxiety, if it actually happens, so then you can actually deal with it, and then you can crush that Amalek. They say limchot et zecher Amalek, to erase Amalek, and you will be able to erase this fear inside you, the Amalek that doesn't let you do stuff and make you stuck at home or don't do stuff that you like. So Bezrat Hashem, I hope this will be a month full of simcha, and you will be able to confront your fears and grow from them. And please share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and in the link below, let me know so I will send you the cards of joy. And see you, Bezrat Hashem, next week. Bye.